Hey guys, how are you doing? So it is that time of the month, right? We are on the brink of September ending and October beginning. And October across the interwebs is all about shadow work, sometimes even November. So and I've got a bunch of decks here that kind of are, a little dark or have that shade of darkness in them in a certain way. And so I'm going to be using those decks for doing the readings today. Clearly you can see the Dark Mansion Tarot. I'm going to be using that to do the general reading. The Bohemian Gothic Tarot. This is one of my earliest deck buys. You can see it's a little worn. I've played with this deck a lot back in the day, and this deck I'm going to be using for the romance part of the reading. And the Neon Moon Tarot, which I know is not necessarily a dark deck, it's a cyberpunk themed deck, but I just decided to go a little crazy and I chose that for doing the romance part of the reading. And as a bonus, because we are in October, and like I said, it's all about shadow work, you're gonna get one card from the Inner Landscape Oracle deck to kind of, if you are getting into shadow work, or if you're thinking about doing shadow work, or if you are pursuing it this month, then this card will give you that additional little bit of info that you need, maybe what you need to work on, and so on and so forth. So along with all this, of course, is my standard suggestion. Look for the sun sign and the moon sign and the ascendant sign, and combine the readings of all the three so that you get as personalized a reading as you can get from this. And if you need a more personalized reading, of course I'm there. Just email me, get in touch, or go to my booking page and book a reading for yourself. All those links are in the description, so you don't have to worry if to find where they are. They're in the description, just look. So all right, let's get into it. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, your tarot blogger, deck and book reviewer, and maker of these awesome videos on YouTube. I'm also a tarot card reader and mentor, and an author of this awesome book on tarot, which is available on Amazon, both paperback and Kindle, all over the world. Now, all of these links and more are in the description, so do check that out. And at the end of this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more such awesome tarot videos. Alright, so now let's see how October 2019 shapes up for air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So, first up we have Gemini. The general reading for Gemini or Gemini is Temperance reversed. Now, Temperance, if you see upright, is the card of growth and balance and all things beautiful and knowledge and that sort of thing. Reversed though, and since this is the general reading, is talking about the big picture month, it's going to be a very tumultuous month, right? Emotions are going to have a very how do you say it, a very heavy presence excuse me, in your day-to-day life. And the process of trying to learn from these emotions, the process of trying to maybe find the sort of grounding in this emotional situation might be a little tough for you. This could, of course, become a beautiful place, a beautiful sort of set of situations and circumstances for you to kind of learn and grow and mature. So this is a very important learning moment or learning month for you. But you have to actively want to find that ground in this emotional crazy, and kind of make this card upright there and use this opportunity as a moment of growth. So this is where your challenge lies this month, Gemini, to figure out how you can, even in this crazy emotional atmosphere, find your grounding and learn what you need to learn and grow from these experiences. Otherwise, it's going to be, like I said, an emotionally tumultuous month. Now, in the romance department, you get the Four of Pentacles reversed. So, what is it that you have been sort of, doing? Again, see, I know this is your Four of Pentacles. Typical meaning is, the miser, someone who holds on to stuff and that sort of thing. But I'm just going to follow the feeling that this card is evoking for me when I see the image. And I see the image of a very, a woman who is very much, remember those back in the day you used to have chaperones, like whenever a couple used to be out and about on a date or walk or whatever, and there used to be some older lady chaperoning them to make sure that no funny business happens, that sort of thing. This woman reminds me of that chaperone energy. So again, in the romance department, right? Coming back to this situation here, Four of Pentacles reverse. In the romance department, what have you been doing which you should not be doing? And, now that the sort of chaperone or gatekeeper is out of the picture, you are basically, you have a free reign, a free run, a free, you're doing things that, are kind of borderline crossing the line, maybe. Maybe, what is it that you are not holding on to? Wow, we come back to that, don't we? What is it that you are not holding on to? What is it that you need to be holding on to? What is it that you are letting go? Where are you crossing the line? Now, this is something, everybody has a different definition of the right and the wrong, right? What are the lines? Every relationship is different, so it's not upon me to comment, but it's actually upon you to think which lines are being crossed, what is being let go of, and why. This is something for you to think, whether you are in a relationship or not in a relationship. What, this aspect of your life which has to deal with relationships, with romance, where are the lines that are being crossed and why? What is being let go of and why? And once, especially who and what represents the chaperone or sort of gatekeeper, someone who ensures that you kind of, follow the rules. Who is this person or who is this situation or thing that represents that for you? And now that that person doesn't seem to be in the picture, why is it that suddenly you felt this urge? There's a lot of soul searching here in this situation for you. So there's a lot to think about. And then let's go to work. You get the Executive of Wires reverse. There's all three cards reversed for you. Now, Executive of Wires is actually the King of Wands reverse. So at work, there's going to be way too much coming your way again. There's going to be a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of pressure at work. And you're going to be having to deal with a lot of stuff. This could be physically and sort of emotionally tiring for you as well. But you're still going to be, busy with it. Maybe there's a lot of learning curves for you at each aspect of your life. As emotions show up, as feelings get dredged up, now you have to, again, find your grounding. You have to find your place and kind of, put your feet down firmly and ask yourself, what is happening here? What is it that I need to learn from this? How do I grow from this? Right? Even at work, it's overwhelming. It's a lot coming at you. There's maybe too much work. How did that happen? In a little moment when you do have some time, think about this. How did it suddenly all this work pile up? Where did you miss the link maybe? Or what went wrong? Why did this happen this way? And what can you do to make sure that it does not happen again? And if you are, if you're in this whole thing, if shadow work is also part of the situation, This is an interesting card. Love, right? The cards are asking you to look at how the shadow aspect of yourself shows up, especially in the romantic department or in the romance department, romance area of your life, right? Especially in the light of this Four of Pentacles being lines being crossed and so on. How does your shadow, play out here? How does this bring out the shadow aspects? How does love actually, or love like situations or situations that bring up those emotions of love, where and how does your shadow get triggered here in this scenario? And why is it that maybe you need to always do this, cross the line? Why is it that as soon as love shows up in your life, you have the urge to, do something to self-sabotage it maybe? I don't know, it's just popping up in my head and my intuition, I'm saying it. So think about it. Think about how love and the emotions that love sort of brings out triggers various aspects of your shadow self, and how that may or may not in the past, in the present, or down the line lead you to doing things that are maybe out of character, or maybe don't even fit in with your big picture agenda, but you've ended up doing that anyway, and now you are like, why did I do that? How did I do that? Something to think about. Okay. Next up, we have Libra. And Libra, your general reading is Page of Wands. It's gonna be an interesting month for you. You have a lot of chances to show off your abilities and skills. Maybe some sort of a beginning, maybe at work, a new project, or something new, a new stage, a new phase. Something very interesting where you get the chance to show off your skills, and you like that. Who doesn't like that? You like that. You like showing off your skills, and you like showing off your ability to kind of do your job. And you're going to get that opportunity. And in different areas of your life as well, as you start something fresh or anew, your qualities are going to be shining, and they're going to be seen by everybody around you, and everybody's going to appreciate that. You're going to be feeling real good this month. Okay. That's nice. Now, in the romance department, you get the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Now, don't panic, don't worry, don't be like, oh, this card is reversed. So what? The Wheel of Fortune, see now, if you see this card upright, in this picture, this person is getting his fortune read. This is interesting, isn't it? Now, here's the thing. In the romance department especially, maybe things aren't going in the direction that you want them to go, or the things aren't necessarily moving along, swimmingly or awesomely or whatever. Things are just feeling, that's fine. The point is, this is a wheel. Now, I know this drawing doesn't show that, the image doesn't show that, but here it is. It is a wheel, and this wheel keeps turning. So even if the Wheel of Fortune seems to be reversed right now, don't worry. It's going to get upright eventually. But this month, you're going to be like, okay, you know what? Not everything works out the way I want it to. Especially now, given the Page of Wands energy, you're going to be like all excited, maybe you're going to be super excited, a little extra excited. And that's why it feels like things aren't going all that swimmingly or all that awesomely, right? Maybe they are going in a normal way. You just feel like that. Right? So if even if you bring it into the context of the image that we're seeing here, right? This person is getting a reading. The reading may not necessarily be what he wants to hear, but it is the reading. It is what's going to happen. So, you're going to have to come to, deal with it eventually. So whatever it is, accept it with, as for what it is, and just enjoy the moment. Don't, this enthusiasm is great and all of that, but don't let that color your impressions or perceptions of everything, try to be as real as you can this month. Now, at work, you get the Hermit card, but in the reverse. So, this is again interesting. At work, you are going to finally emerge out of a space of solitude, a space of deep thought, and you're going to be like, okay, I have all this wisdom. Again, pair that with the Page of Wands energy. You're going to be like, okay, I have all this wisdom and I'm going to share that with you, whether you want it or not. Try to control that impulse, but still, you're going to be someone people are going to seek out and ask guidance from. And you're going to go, maybe a little bit extra and, say a few additional things that they didn't ask for, but you're going to do it anyway. And this is nice because, all this, again, sometimes you need to show off your skills and knowledge. Sometimes people need to know who and what you are. Sometimes that also needs to be seen. So show it, okay? Just try not to be a little too extra. Don't go too overboard. And if you have been, or if you are going to be doing some sort of shadow work this month, the card you have pulled is Masks. This is an interesting card, especially in light of shadow work, right? Where the shadow is just another aspect of the self. And there are many, such aspects of the self that we put on, masks that we wear, when we are in different situations in our life. So, like, for instance, you are, when you're with your lover, for instance, you'll put on a different sort of mask or personal persona or personality, and you'll be there. At work, again, it's a different personality that you're gonna put on. With your friends, again, a different personality. So as you as you move from personality to personality, as you kind of don these different masks at different situations, where is your real self? Right? Which self is more real than the others? Which mask is not a mask but your real self? Or have you lost track of that? And how can your shadow self really help you connect or reconnect with your real self? With, looking at all the different masks that you wear during the day, during the month, during the week, during every single, aspect of your life. Which is the mask that is not a mask? Which is the self, which is your real self? And how can your shadow self help you connect with that real self? Maybe that's something to ponder upon this month of October for you, Libra. Next up, we have Aquarius. Aquarius, for your general reading, you get the 10 of Wands reversed. This is good. A lot of the burdens are going to be reduced for you. You're going to find yourself finally letting go of the different responsibilities. Not completely like letting go. You might delegate them. See, the thing with some people is that they think that nobody can do a better job than they can. And that's when all those wands pile up to begin with. You're like, no, I'm going to take care of it because I can't trust anyone to do a better job than me. Maybe they may not do as good as a job as you, but they're going to probably be able to get the job done also. And when this whole burden sort of piles up, it's difficult to move forward. So sometimes it becomes the most sensible thing to let it go. And now this could be burdens at work, this could be burdens at home, this could be burdens in your relationship areas. Across the board, this is the general reading. So it's time for you to let go of the burdens that you have been carrying thus far. And if it's called upon, you may delegate those responsibilities to others. And just kind of let go of that perfectionist aspect of yourself. They will do a good job, as good as they can do it. Let that be. And, lighten your load. Okay? It's going to be a good month to do that. Now, in the romance department, Aquarius, you have pulled the Moon card, which is so beautiful, especially in this deck. This card is so beautiful. I love it. The Moon is all about connecting with your deep inner psyche and you're very feminine, very alluring, very, very seductive sort of self. Now, if you are in a relationship, you're going to be having a really, really interesting time this month because you're going to have that whole allure, that seduction thing, that whole, vibe going, that whole, ooh, you're going to have people, your lover is going to be chasing after you. But if you're not in a relationship, that's okay. It's still an interesting period because you're gonna have that vibe. That vibe is still there. You might get a lot of people chasing after you. One way or the other, it's going to be a very deeply emotionally romantic month for you. Wow, this energy is really powerful. And at work, you get the Three of Vials reversed. This is interesting because this is Three of Cups reversed. And at work, that basically means that you're gonna, have to deal with a lot of weird group dynamics. Okay. Now again, it makes sense with the Ten of Wands reversed. As you're delegating work, you're gonna deal with group dynamics and group politics. Maybe some people think that you favor them, some people think that you don't favor them, some people expect that you will favor them. So, you're going to have to deal with that dynamic at play. As far as possible, don't overdo on the, on the getting together and having a drink scenario with your colleagues, because there might be a tendency to do that, right? Especially if you're lightening the load and you're feeling, hey, let me hang out with my colleagues a little bit longer or more frequently. Try to avoid that because you'll get caught up in a lot of the interpersonal drama that you don't want to get caught up with, especially with that moon energy there. You don't want that. And finally, if you are doing shadow work this month, the card that you have pulled is called Fair Play. Now, this shows a game of knots and crosses, and they're using twigs and stones, but basically it's that game. So you have to make a straight line, and see, here you go. Now, if both teams, both sides can make a play for this particular one and win, whose turn is it? And what is the fair play here? What is the best way to do it? Now, connecting that with your shadow self, right? How does the darker aspect of yourself come into play? Especially when, doing the right thing or following the rules, or basically, sometimes you gotta let someone else win. What if it's not your turn? It is the other person's turn. Clearly, he's going to win. Point is, how does your shadow self come into play? Does it get triggered? Does it bother you if someone breaks the rules, someone doesn't break the rules, or what is the dynamic around politics and breaking the rules and all of that for you? This is something that the cards are asking you to kind of look at. What are the rules of fair play? How does your shadow self come into play while figuring that out? Like, what kind of rules would you have liked to break? That is something, and why? Something to ponder upon in this October as you go about your shadow work. Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? So, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up And again, if it resonated, just let me know in the comments, or like the video, whatever works for you. Just let me know if it resonated. Okay, and thank you for watching the video. Thank you for your time and your patience. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Please give this video a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where I post my card a day readings every day. You can also order a reading for yourself, or you can learn how to read tarot from me, of course. All of these links are in the description, so check that out. I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.